It's 4 o'clock, so we'll make a start. A very warm welcome to this afternoon's webinar. I have some housekeeping to go through before we get to the main content. This meeting is being recorded, so please ensure your microphones are off so that we can get best sound quality as possible. It's up to you if you have your cameras on or not, as there is no requirement for us to check that you are there. We aim to keep this session at a maximum of 40 minutes, so in order for us to do that, please direct any questions to the chat so I can field those appropriately. Or there is a QR code at the end of the session. Finally, this session is part of our role as an EdTech demonstrator school. We are helping schools and colleges with support for remote education, which is funded by the Department for Education as part of its Get Help with Technology initiative. A quick introduction. I'm Claire Buckler, Director of Learning Commons here at DHSB. I manage the school's use of technology, and as part of that, I have a team of digital leaders. Here with me today, I have Noah Evans and George Cleland-Smith, both senior members of the team and currently in Year 10. You'll hear from them a bit later. Before we go into the Digital Leader Scheme, I'd like to give you some background information to the school and our journey to where we are today. 2013 is when the Digital Leader programme was first introduced. Not by me, I only joined the school in 2018. So you can see it's been running for a substantial amount of time for us to get where we are today. In 2014, the school moved from its VLE, which was Frog, over to Google for Education. And in 2015, they were approached by Google to be a Google reference school, the first in the Southwest, mainly due to how the teachers and students were making the use of Google Classroom in their day-to-day learning. 2015 was a big change for the library. It was turned into a Learning Commons, which is a digital space. Some of the old legacy PCs and iPads, which is what some students had, were replaced by Chromebooks, and my role, the Director of Learning Commons, was introduced. In 2019, we rolled out a one-to-one Chromebook system. It's a parental paid one where parents pay per month and students get a Chromebook which they have for their own, currently the Lenovo 500E. That's been incredibly popular, with nearly 90% take-up across our Year 7 and 8. We built a makerspace in 2019, and also, like everyone else in 2020, we moved to online teaching due to COVID-19. We would like to be a serverless school, and we're currently nearly there. The only things that we need to put in place are CCTV and the cashless system. Here at DHSB, technology has a strong presence, which has been built up over all of these years, and the digital leaders have had a huge part to play in this. As well as the devices we provide, students are encouraged to use mobile phones as learning devices. And as a Google reference school, we use Google Tools for Education in creative and innovative ways across the curriculum. All teachers can see the benefits to digital skills. We feel this healthy relationship with technology is essential for our students to ensure that they are data literate and can use digital tools to communicate and collaborate, both essential skills in whatever their life choices are after completing their education with us. All of this comes from having a school that sees digital literacy as an essential skill, and our leadership group are happy to provide the time and resources to get all staff and students on board. My role is a great example of this. Director of the Learning Commons, which is a digital library breakout space. We have 60 Chromebooks, which are available at break times, and an innovative learning space. It is often booked out by teachers who enjoy the freedom that the space offers over that of a traditional classroom. Google Expeditions is currently a favourite of our History, Geography and Classics department. We have a dedicated network for this, as well as a class set of Google Cardboard. This has meant that the crossover into online teaching for us, whilst it's not been error-free, it has been smooth and coordinated and not too much of a scare for our students and staff. It's really been business as usual. The biggest and most important thing to come out of the Learning Commons, though, is the Digital Leader project. Digital leaders at DHSB are students that take on the role of the IT help desk staff and are able to have technical support tickets assigned to them. They're an amazing resource for the school, saving time and allowing technical staff time to concentrate on infrastructure issues. Those that are successful in their bid to be part of our scheme also take the Google Applied Digital Skills course, so they're on hand in classroom to guide others on their use of digital skills to produce and showcase work. Our digital leaders are available to run the theatre lighting desk for shows, set up assemblies, lead on assemblies, lead code club sessions, and produce graphics and informatics for departments across the school. This is naming only a few. We currently have 30 digital leaders in the school, with a healthy waiting list to become one. We have a subsection of the group who are also e-safety ambassadors and run workshops and drop-ins around relevant issues. All the students involved show fantastic problem solving and creative thinking skills. And the most amazing thing about these students, in my opinion, is only a few of them are taking our popular GCSE computer science option. Clearly, they already have a great relationship with technology. To talk about this more, I would like to introduce George and Noah.
Thank you, Ms. Butler. I'm going to look at the impact on education of digital leaders at Denport High School for Boys. We're going to look at a very simple example on how one yet essential device, which can easily malfunction, can cause such an impact on education. Taking this example, which you can see in front of you, a projector during the middle of a lesson drops signal with the teacher's Chromebook. Without a digital leader, this could have a severe impact on the education of the students due to the fact that teaching nowadays so heavily relies on technology, whether it's slideshows or the use of interactive whiteboards. With a digital leader, the problem can most likely be fixed in minutes. Simply having a fellow student who is capable of troubleshooting and resolving significantly reduces the time in which it takes to resume its learning to its full potential. Here you can see our top 9 frequent IT callouts at Denport High School for Boys, such as student Chromebook repairs, replacements, projectors, printing and peripheral issues, and passwords and password resets. With almost 80% of these addressable by our digital leaders, this significantly impacts the speed in which any issues can be resolved. I'm going to hand over to Noah to talk about some of our recent projects.
So over the last 3.5 years that I've been a digital leader, we've worked on quite a few projects. You can see some of our best ones here. Some of the ones I want to highlight are converting our really old and slow Windows PCs to Chrome OS. We used Cloud Ready, which we bought as a school and then installed on every machine. We have also produced online virtual assemblies due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So instead of classes just joining a Google Meet and a teacher presenting, we actually produced a video file that we sent to them with animations and graphics and effects and time to pause to carry out activities. We've also set up a digital hub in the Learning Commons to provide tech support and also anti-bullying support for other students, which we're going to talk about a little bit more now with our Be Strong Online.
Thank you again, Noah. Some of Denport High School for Boys digital leaders are trained to be Strong Online ambassadors, which is part of the Diana Award. They're trained to support the school community by educating others on how to keep safe, use and utilise the internet and social media responsibly. As well as helping the school community, it also boosts self-confidence. As you can see in the photos, our ambassadors have no worries about getting up in front of large groups of the school community and promoting good habits in the new technology-driven generation. It has been proven that having extra experiences and qualifications behind your back when you go to search for employment or higher education significantly increases the chances of securing your desired role or place. So not only are our digital leaders helping the school community, we're also helping them further towards their future careers. In 2019, our digital leader team applied to be involved in a national competition. The competition, the Longitudinal Explorer Prize, hosted by Nesta, focused on how we could use AI to help people live better, greener and healthier. In 2020, DHSB picked 5 of our finest digital leaders to travel to London to represent our school in the semi-finals. The team thoroughly enjoyed the experience with an overnight stay at Stratford and a day of activities at the Olympic Park. As a team, we navigated through the COVID-19 pandemic with weekly Google Meet catch-ups and virtual mentoring from a team of professionals supplied by Nesta. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we were unable to attend the live final, but we attended virtually from home. We were really proud to be runners-up in the competition with our idea, Put It Down. Looking towards the future, we have already applied for this year's competition and we're looking forward to it.
In 2019, 3 of our digital leaders, including myself and George, attended the SWAT conference to speak about what it means to be a digital leader Similar topic to what we're talking about today, but slightly different as well. We spoke about how we help in school, particularly in lessons, more detail on what we can do in lessons and how the Learning Commons has transformed education at the school. What we are also helping to do is run a code club. So for quite a few years now, I've hosted DHSB Code Club, which is a club that I run in the Learning Commons using Chromebooks, and we teach students languages such as Python, HTML, and JavaScript. We use Code Club UK's great curriculum and resources, meaning that students have clear guidance every step of the way and can work independently most of the time. For students who are already experienced, we allow them to think up and build their own projects, and those have been demoed at show and tell sessions that we have usually every month. We also encourage students to use Stack Overflow and GitHub to ask for and find solutions to their problems rather than coming to us first. Next, I want to talk about the expectations of digital leaders. So for us, at least, we think that students should have at least one duty a week in the Learning Commons, role model behavior for all students. They should be eager to participate in any new ideas that we have. They should be willing to help the school community, from teachers in lessons to teachers who come down to the Learning Commons for help, or for students who how we help with Chromebook repairs, or students who've got other technical issues. They should, of course, keep the school equipment and tools organized, which helps the entire school community if everybody knows where everything is. And they should display kind and welcoming behavior to those seeking help. That's our expectations. You might choose to have some different ones, but that's what we find works at our school.
Thank you, guys. So, how to get started? A discussion with your leadership team about the benefits is a great place to start. And of course, what you want to achieve may need buy-in from your IT department. It completely depends on the setup in your school. There is a certain level of trust that we place in our students, and only you will know what you're comfortable with them doing. I'd recommend taking time in a staff meeting to make sure everyone is aware and the potential impact of the project. Supportive staff will add greatly to the success of this project. And at DHSB, when we were open in the Learning Commons, most staff will talk directly to the students. Our digital leaders are regarded and respected. This is in part down to the way that we recruit in the beginning, ensuring that we open this to all and don't just select based on class performance. Many of your students are probably tinkering with software and projects at home that you will never know about. So essentially, we treat this as an employment type process. We use social media, school emails, and also have a student portal to advertise positions. For us, Google Forms does all the work. So we'll send out an application form, and then we have a rigorous process as we get so many applications, particularly from New Year 7s. And so the senior leaders have to take an active role in this too. We thin out based on the quality of their response and then hold interviews and trial periods. We're not always looking for IT skills. Great leadership and drive is essential because we always give them great training. We have a clear leadership pathway, and for some students, this is what they want to join for. As we have a lot going on, there are many different roles that the students can take, and so training is really important, and you should allow for the time in order to do that. I'm lucky at DHSB. The team has been going on for so long, they really manage themselves. In terms of communication, we have a Google Classroom that we use, and the digital leaders have set up social media accounts to keep teachers and students updated and informed. We have a community website that the students use, which is put together in part by the digital leaders. This has been incredibly helpful during COVID-19, especially for our young cohort of Year 7s who may not have had the skills required to contribute to or to work with online learning. So digital leaders have been able to provide tutorials, and that makes it's a really good thing for those students to see other students providing those materials for them. And also when I log into Google Classroom or other services, I would have a different interface than the students do. So that's been really fantastic. To sum up, I do hope from this you're able to see how beneficial this initiative is to staff, parents and students. Our digital leaders are motivated by the enjoyment of working as a team in a real life learning environment. As well as all the examples they have talked you through, they also put together this presentation and nagged me to make sure I had done my planning. They are my go-to team. We've had a lot of fun along the way, but I've been blown away by their dedication to providing the best services they can for their school. If you